Seraph, I asked quietly, is there anything you want to do? It was the first time I felt uncertain saying it. I tied his long silver hair back, forced a lab coat over his shoulders, reminded him to keep his tail hidden. Then I grabbed a spare jacket, draped it over his head, and pushed the wheelchair forward. Under the fabric, he shifted restlessly. I reached out and tapped him. Behave. Only then did he go still. Once we were safely outside the institute, I lifted the jacket from his head. The last light of sunset spilled over him. Seraph tilted his head back and closed his eyes. Silver scales shimmered across his skin, catching the fading glow. You didn't have to do this, he said. I echoed his tone, cool and flat. I wanted to. Besides, I was sick of them anyway. I found out they were having dinner together at a nearby hotel. I never thought I'd be the type to play vigilante. When are you coming back? Dr. Carter asked over tea. End of the month, Dr. Lee replied. According to the schedule. If it weren't for that nonsense, Dr. Carter scoffed, why would I be suspended at all? That junior researcher is annoying, Dr. Lee said lightly. I'll find a chance to get rid of her. The lights went out. A blackout. What's going on? With a sharp tearing sound, Seraph ripped the lab coat from his body. A mermaid's strength is not something you imagine. Before we left, I'd warned him again and again, no killing. A massive tail, reeking of seawater, cracked through the air. Smack. It struck Dr. Lee square across the face. You, Seraph said. Put something in my food. Another blow. The tail swung toward Dr. Carter. And you, he growled, use the stun device on me every day. The two researchers scattered in panic. When the lights came back on, they were barely recognizable, faces swollen. Bodies bruised, collapsed on the floor, gasping for air. Seraph had vented his anger. He looked better. On the way back, he turned his head toward the distant sea. That was his home. At that moment, it was only one step away. The adrenaline still racing through me from watching those two beaten senseless began to drain. My steps slowed. My hands on the wheelchair stopped. Keep going, Seraph said, tapping my hand lightly. Didn't you skip dinner? Before I could answer, he retracted his claws. If we don't go back now, he added, we'll both be caught. After we returned to the institute, I worked without rest, day and night. I tested every toxin I could get my hands on. Anything, everything. I just didn't know whether Seraph could hold on until that day came. Because he was a patient, I've been indulging him lately. Whatever he wanted to eat, he got. When I processed experimental data, Seraph would lean against my shoulder. He stared at the screen with curiosity. He didn't understand a thing, but he still found it fascinating. I tried to push his head away. Stop staring, I said. Do you want to become the world's first nearsighted fish? I pushed once. Nothing. I looked down. His tail shimmered with color, clearly thicker than before. That was when something finally felt wrong. I cupped his face in both hands and poked his cheek. The soft flesh actually dented slightly under my finger. Seraph immediately looked guilty. He shifted his gaze away. What? He asked, trying to sound casual. You're fine. I pressed. What? Of course I am. I called Dr. Stone again. The new test results showed that every one of his indicators had returned to normal. He was, by all standards, perfectly healthy. A mermaid's regenerative ability was far beyond anything we imagined. Dr. Stone was ecstatic, already eager to analyze the components in his blood. That earlier weakness was likely his body fighting off the toxins. Now it was over. Everything was fine. I didn't believe it. A mermaid who understood human speech couldn't possibly be unaware of what I'd been working on lately. He was playing dumb, eating whatever he wanted. wandering out to tease the other animals, and causing me trouble for fun. I laughed in spite of myself, angry and amused at the same time. Then I locked him back in the tank. This time, no matter what he said, I didn't respond. Meals were provided as usual, 3 times a day, no extras. When he realized that I was genuinely upset, Seraph finally panicked. He tapped on the glass. "I'm sorry." I didn't look at him. He tapped again. "Lynn," he said hurriedly, "I swear I'm really sorry. In the past few days, the lab received another new animal, a blue bat. It was several times larger than an ordinary bat, its body marked with strange patterns. Because it had been injured by a thaumaturge, it showed clear hostility toward humans. It could not be approached for treatment, and anesthesia had almost no effect on it. Nearly all of my attention went to this bat. One day, when I returned to the lab, I found the usually withdrawn bat staring at the fish tank in a visible rage. "What's going on?" I asked. The assistant, who had been watching the monitors, said, "The merman is doing it on purpose. He keeps splashing water onto the bat's enclosure. Every time the bat tries to rest, he splashes again. It can't sleep at all." I looked at Seraph. Seraph, however, put on an innocent expression. His eyes lowered slightly, so pitiful it almost looked convincing. "Don't bully your companions." Seraph pressed himself against the glass, looking at me with exaggerated grievance. "You've been ignoring me," he said. I got a little jealous, like a child who causes trouble on purpose just to get a parent's attention. From somewhere, Seraph produced a necklace. The chain was made from polished scale bone, and at the very end hung a scale that shimmered with color. "Didn't you want one of my scales? This is for you." I stared straight at the necklace. Growing up, I had received many necklaces: a jade Buddha from my grandmother, a small cloth charm from my father, a gold necklace from my mother. But this one was different. This one was given to me by a merman. To make it, he had ground each fish spine smooth until it no longer hurt to touch. The merman stretched out his claws, looking pitiful. "Look," he said. My hands all scraped up. That amount of injury meant nothing to a merman. "Fine," I said. "For the sake of the necklace, I forgive you." The first animal to leave the lab was the fire-breathing turkey. I had already submitted its full research report. The turkey had learned to control itself, no longer breathing fire at will. It was taken in by a zoo and was about to become a turkey with official status. After seeing it off, I gradually submitted reports for the other animals as well. The final one was Seraph's. The report detailed his living habits, dietary preferences, and behavioral traits. But I knew the Institute would never let a merman go. Even if Seraph died, he would only become a specimen. I asked him, "Do you want to go back?" Seraph looked up and asked seriously in return, "Back where?" "The sea." A flicker of light passed through his eyes. He nodded. But very quickly he realized he couldn't go back. I was a researcher with no seniority. Within the Institute, I had no voice. No one would listen to me, and no one would spare him. So Seraph shook his head again. "Forget it, Lynn. I should be used to it by now." Even so, a mad idea rose quietly in my heart.